Hey, Kabir and Ritama, can you talk a little bit about what is special about Essence training?
Well, we call this approach full spectrum psychology and spirituality because it is a synthesis of psychology, very down to earth, very real in terms of our emotions and our life situation. At the same time, we talk about it as spirituality because it's focused upon a higher consciousness that is in all of us that we touch and that we can come to live more and more. We also call it full spectrum because in the past, spirituality was about go to a monastery, live in a cave in the Himalayas, and we feel that there's a whole new kind of spirituality emerging on the planet right now, which is about being here in the world, being intelligent, being empowered, being creative, being in relationship, being in abundance, and living all that a human being is. So a human being should be meditative, and a human being should be intensely dynamically alive. A human being should have deep silence, and a human being can have expressive joy. A human being can live in aloneness, and a human being can live in deep love. And so full spectrum means to have all of that in your life. And so our work is focused about bringing this consciousness into the life you're living, into your relationships, into your work, into how you make your money, into how you relate to people, about here and now life lived with a new consciousness.
That makes me think of the expression, the Buddha in the marketplace.
Yeah, I like the Buddha in the marketplace, but I think for me personally, I like better to being able to have in my relationship great sexuality, great love, dynamic being together, having great purpose together, creatively together, and connecting on a soul level. For me, it's like I came to this world and I say, I want it all, and that's what I've been working towards. I want it all. Why keep anything out? And that is what full spectrum is.
Sounds like full spectrum joy to me.
Well, every level of yourself should have joy. Your body should have joy. Eating food should have joy. Having a beautiful car should have joy. All these things should be part of life and should be included in a spiritual practice.
Yeah.
I do want to say one thing about the core of inner work. The core of inner work basically believes that each one of us is an absolutely incredible being, that there is so much light and intelligence and joy and power and creativity in every one of us that is seeking to emerge. We have to nurture that seed, and it is a seed. It's there, but it's not yet matured. Those flowers have not opened in us except maybe certain pieces here and there. So the focus of this work is founded in the understanding that you are already that incredible being, and you need to wake up to it, you need to support its growth, you need to build the muscles of it, and you need to learn what it means to live as that person.
Yeah.
In that process, we do look back at the past, we look at wounding, we look at instincts, we look at patterns that may take you over, and they have to be worked with and cleared up and healed and matured, but that's actually not the focus of the work. That's just part of the stuff that you need to do to unfold and to become that incredible being who you already are.
Yeah, so in a way the focus is also, even though we want to look at what's not working, but we also want to help you find and focus more on what is working, what is already great in you that you haven't, let's say, accepted yet and let come to its full potential. So in a way, if you think of energy, that means we are big beings, we have big aura. Are we living small? Have we put ourselves in a box? Are we living limited, or are we being able to widen and be in fullness of who we are in a way already?
And that's what we bring to the work with the second chakra. The second chakra, on one hand, is healing your inner child, working with your emotions, looking at your family past. But the higher level of the inner child, the higher level of the second chakra work is awakening to the immensity of consciousness and beingness that you are, working with those lower parts, and as they start transforming, the child brings an incredible beauty of innocence, of openness, of playfulness, of warmth, of spontaneity, of aliveness. It brings the capacity to connect to another person in the most rich and wonderful of ways. It brings the capacity to nurture yourself, the feeling of belonging to yourself, belonging to life. So the work with the inner child and work with the belly chakra starts a process of such deep connection to oneself and warmth and playfulness and richness that just goes on and on and on in life.
Yeah, when I was searching, because I felt like there was something bigger that's going to make me feel aligned and good and awakened. And I always thought of this picture that we see, somebody meditating like a Buddha or like a holy person. And over time, what happened as parts in me awakened, and Kabir and I have been on this path of what we call full spectrum, which we feel is the spirituality of the now. That means, to enjoy everything, to enjoy the moment, to have everything in its fullness. And the path now has become so joyful and so much fun that it's become a totally different spirituality, and reaching what you can call, the new enlightenment, or the new, feeling fantastic than I had imagined. It's a new way. What in the past used to be going on a spiritual path is. This is very dynamic, it's fun, and very alive.